Hello everybody and welcome to the stream. I am Nether. You have found us at the right time for a game of Scion. We are going to be playing that with Storyteller Storyteller Alvrance. I am in the wrong game at the moment. Storyteller Alvrance. We have Jody, played by Keystreth. We have Vega, played by Michinho. We have Andre, played by Robo Pirate, and we have Cardin, played by Red Ghost. Also, Red Ghost, well done on you getting first today. Kamesy, well done on you getting second, and Michinho, well done on you getting a third. How exciting! Also, I see a Wolves and an Alice here. A Wolves and also, there's a Flutis giving us some hee-hoo. And I see that you have all finished the community challenge, so I will make a redeem that I have to talk in Japanese for a certain amount of minutes at a time to, give myself a little bit of more practice in that. It has been a while since I actually spoke Japanese. So with that said, I think I should go into the right scene for this. And nice. That reminds me, I should actually turn off some stuff here. And I'm sorry to do so, but, it is going to be a TTRPG stream, and I do not need the distractions. So, it is going to be turning off all of the sound alerts and such, and then we can go back to the group here. See you in a moment. Whee!
With it.
Hello!
Hello! Let's stop talking about spoilers.
Yes. We weren't talking about spoilers. We were talking about our favorite My Hero characters.
Wait.
Anyone who likes thought it goes wrong. Sorry.
And nothing goes wrong, and everybody gets along.
Okay. What kind of spoilers were you talking about?
Oh,
the last season stuff.
Yeah, so the final chapter has been published and released.
Oh, okay.
Apple butter jeans, boots with the fur.
Apple butter jeans?
Yeah, apparently.
Yes.
Apple butter jorts.
What?
Oh, no.
I can't believe they apple buttered jorts though.
They apparently did.
Poor jorts.
Or
Never
jorts.
stood a chance.
Mm-hmm.
Funny enough, I had apple butter toast for breakfast this morning.
You sure did. There's an Amish restaurant back in Ohio that, they make all their food from scratch, and they have some of the best apple butter I've ever had.
Aww. Also, this must be memorialized. Gamesy says, Michi, I love you, never change.
I was just about to bring that up.
I love you too, Kamsy. I can't change. I don't know how.
True.
I just want to point out that the last time that we played was was almost a nice amount of days ago.
Oh.
Yeah, which is also the reason why I don't have that broadcast anymore.
Oh.
I apologize because I'm part of the reason why it took us so long to play again.
No, look, I am used to this kind of stuff with other groups, where it's just like, oh yeah, summer approacheth. Guess we don't have schedules anymore.
It's summer and Christmas are the two times where no one is available ever.
Yeah.
Part of it was because, I went away for almost a month.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't just you. RoboPirate was also on vacation. There was a lot of
Google,
things
how
that was
dare you
going
be
on.
on vacation?
Right.
I'm not
I'm sorry.
apologizing. Somebody literally died.
Yeah.
My
How
condolences.
dare you have people die?
Those are two very different reactions.
The duality of man.
Hmm.
How
Alright.
dare you have people die?
Okay. So, who remembers what happened last time?
Oh man. Oh boy.
We
I'm
punched
sure
the headmistress
we beat up
out
the
of
girl.
yeah.
Yeah, we pushed him out of a window. That was pretty cool. Not gonna lie.
we got some papers,
Lots of papers.
and we go home.
Hmm.
Oh man, was that actually the last thing we did?
That was the last thing we did.
Got home, people got on doing studying some things, so
I'm not gonna
um,
remember anything else. It's too warm.
that is perfectly fine. Alright.
Valid.
I'm forgetting something. I know what I'm forgetting.
Music?
Yes.
Okay.
No, I don't want
How
that
could you
one.
forget
Oh.
music?
Uh-oh. Here we go.
Environmental spaces, that's what I want. We'll go with the classic one. Okay.
Just all the volume.
Alright. I was
Okay.
like, something doesn't feel right. Something doesn't feel right. What's missing? Music's missing.
Yeah.
Heart.
So, with that in mind, I'm going to start off this with what I usually start off such things with. Is there anything that anyone would like to get done after getting back?
I believe Casimir has already talked with some of the friends and gave them the chapter that
Yes.
we retrieved.
Yes, there is someone who's looking it over to
Mhm.
verify it right now. Where's my NPCs list? That would be Hadrian.
Hadrian, yes. I believe I gave him the most secluded spot in the cafe.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think after all of that excitement, I think Casimir is just going to be doing a bit of stress baking.
Understandable.
Doggy treats, and cafe pastries and stuff.
Okay. Getting some stuff stocked up. Valid. Okay. What about anyone else? What are you guys up to? Could be things that you've put off, could be interacting with NPCs. Could be doing fate bindings and the like if you're low on legend.
Am I low on legend? That's a good question.
All of my shit is in view. I haven't spent any. So I should spend some at some point. Need to do some apples.
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm good on legend.
Okay.
Probably Vega is trying to chill Casimir out while he is stress cooking. Casually stealing bites of the not doggy treat batter.
The doggy treats are perfectly edible for humans as well.
They probably wouldn't taste as good though.
That's true, but they're perfectly edible.
Steals little spoonfuls for Donovan and Alma.
Too much bacon.
Okay.
Oh, Red Ghost, you're muted.
Sorry.
It's okay.
No worries.
How dare you be muted?
Oh,
was going to ask-
it's fine for you to be muted. I saw your captions lighting up, and I was like, you wanna intercede? That's fine. Just
Oh, that's right. That's a thing that happens. I actually hate that.
yeah, I'm sorry about that.
What's Cardin up to?
Probably stealing the extra bacon.
Stealing the extra bacon.
The bacon is in the batter.
Oh.
Did he
feeling
Are
stutter?
we stealing the extra batter?
Okay.
Okay. Do you allow this, Casimir? Because now there's 2 people stealing snacks.
To
One
a
person was fine,
To a
but 2.
certain amount. There will be like I can see that Vega is like kind of like sticking a finger in the batter and it's like, oh, that's fine. And then Cardin just does the same. And like I'm making the pastries as quickly as I can. They will be much better tasting than the batter for the dog treats that you are dipping your fingers into.
Oh, I was letting them lick off my finger.
No,
And
no,
you look down
they
and
need-
Donovan's just going blidum 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 blidum.
Donovan,
Con's literally eating a gun. I think this is fine.
Donovan,
I
they
was
will
about
be
to say-
better. They will taste better when they're done.
Mm.
Done is in
Well,
the
you-
future and batter is now.
I was about to say. Well, you're absolutely right in practice principle and all other forms. I'm hungry now.
I will go.
I might be a
to-
grim and full of intelligence and the ability to speak, but you are asking me to understand delayed gratification.
I'm
You
sorry,
will understand delayed gratification, or you will not receive any more dog treats in the future.
Oh, that's a threat if I've ever heard one.
I am threatening
Oh,
a
no.
Grim.
It's okay.
I want it known
Sorry.
that you don't need to stay here in the Midnight Nook and do things. You can go to
Mhm.
other places or Brussels or things like
Jody's
that.
doing
there's
other things.
Yeah. Okay. What's Jody doing?
Jody is inspired a little by people generally not liking us a lot sometimes, and Andre trying to do some community stuff. Jody is gonna do some stuff in the local area to try and like help people out.
Okay. Give me a social athletics or close combat check.
Have anything that can help. Persuade groups, I have that.
Absolutely, that'll work here.
Athletics. 4 successes.
Successes.
Ah.
Excellent. So there's using athletics. There is some classic things like getting cats out of trees or small things like that. But there is stopping. I guess the best way to put it, taking a look at Jody, would be stopping vandals of like local businesses.
Yeah.
Type of thing, not so much like stopping crimes or doing things
Yeah.
along those lines, but helping out in those smaller ways, or helping out the layman rather than like the local supermarket or anything along those lines, unless it is.
You know,
locally
seeing
run.
some people like harassing a homeless person and getting them to fuck off and stuff like that.
Yeah. Ripping out a statue from anti-homeless architecture.
Yeah,
Hell yeah.
I could do that.
Okay, I am going to make a note. Session notes.
Notes.
Yeah.
Notes.
Jody.
Note.
While I'm writing things down, what's Andre up to?
I am imagining him back at the orphanage helping with homework.
Helping with homework. Alright.
Potentially having that scene in Incredibles, which is leading over
The
looking at
map
math.
scene.
I was about to ask for a mental academics check.
Well, I do actually have some in both of those.
They changed to math.
Oh no.
That. 5 successes.
Not
Damn.
bad at all.
Apparently the changes weren't big enough.
Heckin' nerd.
Well, I mean, I think it's kind of like when it comes to stuff with math. Math is math, and you're able to sit there and kind of get to the right answer yourself, and then work backwards, doing the way that they wanted it to. So you have an understanding of modern math, how it's taught. But there's also the fact that I know that there's education related things for some stuff regarding firefighting that Andre's probably gotten through, and it's or higher education. So there's aspects of helping out some of the various kids that definitely need it. Yeah. All right. So before I go forward with image, that's the thing. Finish. 9. But not only are you able to sit there and do it that way, you are able to guide them to the answers. So that way, they're able to. What's the word I'm looking for?
Solve it themselves.
Yeah, so that way they're able to get it themselves. Is there anything that anyone wanted to do outside of like stress baking or anything along those lines before some things start popping off, so to speak? Yep. Before the plot happens.
Before the plot happens. Oh dear, oh dear. I would like to get in touch with. Oh wait, no. Oh darn it! I don't know if I have my old contacts still here. Oh, I don't have that one. My fate finding with the apprentice, Jenny. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wanna get in touch, see how she's doing. Anything odd has happened. Like, Casimir is... just because he's paranoid doesn't mean that they're not out watching him, of course.
Right. Fate binding conditions. Apprentice is one of the first ones. Are you... Okay. So, here's my question. What's your legend looking like?
One of two.
One of two. Would you like to compel your fate binding?
Sure.
Okay. So what would Casimir be doing when Jenny would say walk into the Midnight Nook?
Finishing up the doctrines.
Okay. Finishing them up.
My caption says, finishing up the doctrines. That's a different character.
Okay. So, in compelling an apprentice, you gain a legend, and this is what's going to happen.
Uh-huh.
Jenny tries to help.
Oh.
But the way that Jenny's trying to help, I don't know if anyone else has saw the thing in Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends, where it's like, if I have to bake them at 400 for 10 minutes, I can bake them at 4,000 for 1 minute.
Oh no, that's...
But in a more intelligent... In a more intelligent and kind of built robotics type of way, because that's the type of person that Jenny is. So, let's see. Baking, I would say... Let me take a look at skills here, real quick.
I'm just imagining just like a computer science major who's never used an oven
Well,
tries
like it's
to
hard.
overclock it.
Okay. So I would say that baking is an academics role, while cooking is a culture role. And I'll fight people on that.
Oh, it's fine. It's
It's out of
okay.
science, right?
Baking is a science.
Yeah, I was about to say, we have a science skill.
Oh, we do have a science skill. I'm not used to that.
Can I
Okay,
just,
so we'll do
how much was it for a skill point again?
5.
Yeah, I'll wait until this roll to see if I want to, like, dump 15 experience points into that.
So, how do you try to stop Jenny from, in essence, tinkering with your oven?
Please do not take this out of context. What is she currently wearing? Is there a piece of clothing that she's wearing that I can grab by the scruff of the neck and go,
Yes.
no?
Yes. So we have an option here if you're going to try to sit there and do that. And that option is worse for you.
Naturally.
Because that would be athletic. So that would be a physical athletics check to stop somebody
Okay.
physically.
Yeah, I am not good at that at all.
Can I help at all?
Let me read this. How would you like to help?
Look at Jenny and be like, Jenny, would you really want the blood to be on your hands if the dog treats turn out bad? And then you make both of these sweet little babies cry as she gives a little nudge to Donovan to like make a sad face.
Okay.
I just like the other sweet baby is Cass or
Alma?
Carden.
I was just about to say
Because
I'm just
oh
imagining
my-
it's like
Look, Oma is a delight, but she is not a sweet baby. Like,
Carden also
Yes.
doing the
Alma doing
the
a s-
puppy dog eyes.
Oma
Yeah,
trying to
I'm
do the
just
puppy dog
imagining,
eyes will be...
like she gestures.
Okay.
Alma doing the puppy dog eyes will very much be a look that says, if you go if you go against me, I will end your bloodline.
If you do not do something, you will be dead. I just thought of Sister Minnie.
So what I'm going to say is you can help, but I'm going to change how help works on this one a little bit because it does have to do with fate binding. You have a difficulty 2 social empathy check, and then everything above that will go to enhancement for this. Now, to note, Casimir, you only need 1 success because the difficulty is equal to half the fate binding strength.
Okay.
So you only need 1 success.
It's still going to be tricky because it's only 4 dice. Let's see. I did get a success!
There you go.
Oh.
So, as Vega says that, Jenny says, well, yeah, but this will make it better and faster and more efficient. And then as she kind of reaches forward, Casimir, you're able to catch her by the scruff of the of the collar of the shirt.
Jenny,
Look at that.
before you attempt something, I would like to remind you of testing out hypotheses before putting them into practice. If you would like, I can teach you how to bake.
Okay. I'll wait.
Thank you.
Still think it would have worked, though.
Unfortunately, it is not just mathematics. It is also chemistry.
Baking is science.
Yeah, but I mean, never mind. But you are able to regain your legend, so you should be at 2 legend.
I am at 2 legend. And I do want to go into, and this does not need to be played out, but I do want to go into the differences in, like, engineering versus chemistry for the purposes of baking.
Alright. Yeah, so you're able to sit there and have a conversation for that. That is compelled. Um,
And I would like to do some small talk about what her latest project is and stuff like that.
Do we tell Jenny
Yeah.
about what happened, by the way?
I can't see why we would not.
The long and short of it, yeah.
What Jenny's working on is, especially after visiting kind of like the annals of the library, talking to some of the friends, learning about the Thrice 10th Kingdom, is she's kind of trying to figure out the logistics of making a realm. She knows she's nowhere near strong enough to do so, but to make a realm where legend or similar things would be able to suffuse enough of the space to make it a large enough space for her end goal, which I don't know if anyone else has watched Eureka 7, but it's the surfboarding on air type of thing is what she's looking to do. Because everything that she's found involves legend, and she wants lay people to be able to do this, not just scions or equivalents thereof.
That makes sense.
I have a new massive respect for Jenny.
Would it help Jenny to do her work in the library?
I believe you left her in the library last time that
Yeah.
that she was there.
Because I then want to kind of try and see if I can make a part of it a work a workplace, so that people in the library don't hear too much noise.
I think what Jenny does is, rather than trying to make another workstation, she can come here and do a lot of the theoretical crafting aspects, but she'll do a lot of the making her own stuff at home, where she already has her setup there, type of thing. Because if you recall, it's organized chaos for Jenny, which may not be best in a library. Okay, but yeah, that's currently her goals. Is that and then if that is everything, 8-124. There we go. Okay. So, after a few days, unless there's anything anyone else would like to do, Alright. Hadrian comes by after taking a look at the letters, because he also had some extra letters in regards to it. And he tells you that they were, and I might mispronounce this, so I'm going to paste it in chat, but Ghetto Dacian? Old language. Or Guido Dacian.
Interesting. I'm not too familiar.
And anyone who would like to may roll an academics mental check to identify.
We'll do that.
Charity's not going to know this one.
There are 2 degrees of difficulty depending on information that you can get. So I will let you
go for it.
3 successes.
Okay.
Yeah, 2.
Card and Vega, did you guys want to make a roll?
Oh, absolutely not.
Okay.
Not for academics roll.
Vega?
What would I roll?
Academics
Exactly?
mental.
Mental academics?
Yes.
Okay. One second. Let's see. 1 success!
All right.
Hooray!
So the
That
Go
would
ahead.
be GT, as in the Jete,
Jete.
or Jets, or Gets.
So ghetto. Okay.
The other question would be: are we doing this roll out here or in your library of bonuses?
We can go into the library of bonuses.
And if we're
How will it been over 2 months? I'll allow the
Sorry.
bonuses to retroactively affect this roll. How much is that bonus?
I believe 1 enhancement.
Is it a layer?
Wait, no, enhancement 2 for lair.
Okay.
So that would be 2 enhancement would be
5, 4, and 3.
yeah.
So Andre and Vega, as you guys hit the books, in figuring this out, and Hadrian's sitting there and helping you guys out. The two of you, interestingly enough, find that the Jeto Dacian peoples were in that area that you guys were at back in Sibiu. They were old, where modern day Transylvania would be. And both of you get the aspect of a goddess that you guys are familiar with that used to be worshipped there, or used to be exceptionally popular there, which would be Hestia.
Okay.
Oh.
We know her.
Mhm. Now let me see what I wrote for this. Okay. So let me change the not battle spoop. I'm just gonna do this, even though it might not exactly be fitting. Casimir, at the end of the day, there's still something that kind of bothers you about it. So you can choose at the end of the day to continue doing research at the cost of mental exhaustion, which means that for the next scene, any mental rolls that you do will be at an additional difficulty 1.
Okay.
Until you are able to get some rest.
That does seem like a thing Casimir would do.
Okay. So, as you kind of hit the books, you go more and more into it. It's kind of consuming to a point, but you know you have something. You know you've seen that before. You know Hestia's not... It can't be Hestia. Because that doesn't necessarily make sense for the goddess of hearth and home, especially with how much that she's been helping you guys and how much that she herself had to figure out what Heracles and the rest were up to. It doesn't make sense.
Different aspect of her, maybe?
Could be a different mantle. But after a while, as the rays of the sun begin kind of coming through the Midnight Nook, whether or not you are in the store or down in the library, knowing that dawn is approaching, you come across the name of an old god. You come across the name Zalmoxis. Let me pull him up real quick. Okay. So, now that you have a name, there's a little bit that kind of goes on afterwards. You know that you can continue to do research, or you can ask Hestia for information, or you can share some things and figure out other aspects. How would you like to proceed?
Would you say that this is a new scene or the same scene as we just continued?
Why do you ask?
For enhancement purposes.
Is it once per scene or is it once per session?
Once per scene.
This once per scene to an ally undertaking appropriate action or imposes once per scene complicated. Okay. Interesting.
Interesting indeed. I also see that it does convey the enhancement to an ally.
I'd say that you're considered an ally in regards to this.
Okay.
I would say if you continue to do research, it's the same scene.
Okay, yeah, makes sense.
And generally speaking, we're not going to stack the enhancement on this again. But
yeah, that's fair.
All right. So, how would you like to proceed?
I think I would like to spend the momentum and set out a ritual to divine the future and read the signs and try and see with the name Zalmoxis what and where we will see that name popping up in the future.
All right. Go ahead and make a roll.
That would be my sorcery skill.
Mm-hmm.
So that is Cunning Academics with 1 difficulty.
With an additional difficulty.
I don't see where there's other difficulties, but do let me know.
Let's set this up as we'll set this up as difficulty 2, so it's total of difficulty 3 due to your condition right now.
Difficulty 3, okay. My
You are divining the future. You do have enhancement from your staff.
I do have enhancement for my staff, that is correct. That would be +2. Not from the library.
That is correct.
Do I have anything other?
This is religious, because you are looking into a god.
I was thinking about that for a specialty as well, yes. Adding that as well. And I think Casimir has been going since he arrived back at the Midnight Nook like this. He's baked, he has studied, he has read up on this for the entire night. He does have striking looks, so he doesn't look bad, but he definitely looks stylishly disheveled. As he is. Look, 2 dots in striking looks, you got it. And so he's like drawing all of these patterns for him to kind of figure out how to read the portents of the stars. And I'm imagining that he does have some sort of night, like a skylight, which probably is connected to the real world's like gutter somewhere in Brussels. Oh, excuse me. And so he's just desperately looking to see what is going on as he practices this ritual. That is nothing!
Would you like to spend momentum?
Sure, yeah.
How much momentum would you like to spend?
I would like to spend 3 momentum.
Okay. Oh yeah, you can play with it now.
I can play with it, yeah. So 3 dice. Roll. Nothing!
Oh
All
my
right.
goodness.
So that is a failed roll. We'll give you
That
a
is a
consolation
failed
for that
roll.
one.
You tried, that's what matters.
I tried and I failed so hard.
You tried so hard and
And got
so
nowhere.
far.
I think there's the aspect where either due from lack of sleep or just the amount of reading that it is just reading the stars on top of that is just kind of a little bit of a headache at the moment, a literal headache, and so it is very tough to do.
Would it be
But
out of the realm of possibility that Jenny shows up at the library, sees me just on the floor unconscious? Not like unconscious in the sense of
actually,
oh.
would you like to invoke your apprentice?
Oh. Invoke her in the sense of like she is going to show up there finding me asleep on this ritual circle.
So I'm going to change this a little bit.
Okay.
Because of how it's supposed to be. But what invoke, so you can compel and you can invoke each once per session, and you can get a new fate binding each once per session. Invoke. Apprentices learn by blundering into mistakes their teachers know how to avoid. Invoke this condition after a failed action. I'll offer a complication rather than a consolation. And if the complication's rating is equal to or less than the fate binding strength, it affects the apprentice instead. So, I mean... Which the complication could be unconsciousness. But that would, if you want it to not affect Jenny, that would put you out of the next scene for a little bit.
I think I would like to see like Jenny finding Casimir there. Okay. I don't think like that condition would be placed upon her, as in like invoking the fate binding.
But you do not want to invoke the fate binding.
Yes, that is correct.
Okay. Good to know. Alright. So, I think everyone early in the morning, or like probably about 9-10-ish, gets a text message from Jenny, because I know she got some of your guys' contact information. Says, hey, found Casimir in the library, unconscious, took him upstairs to get some rest. But some of the consolations is that you can always ask Hestia. He was a goddess that was worshipped in the area, so given some things that are some overlap, Hestia might know more about Zelmoxis.
That would make sense.
By the way, Jenny gets a text back from Vega. The one night I don't spend, I leave him alone and this happens.
Burning the midnight oil. But yeah.
I think that was a bit past midnight at that point.
Just a little bit. Okay.
Everybody's like, rip bozo. And I'm like, in Vegas, like, wow.
Alright. So, is there anything that anyone would want to do while you wait to get Casimir awake, as Casimir is the only person with the information about Zelmoxis at this particular moment in time?
Does Kaz have people to open up the shop at least?
I have friends.
Yeah.
It sounds so...
I definitely have friends.
Mhm.
That's what they're called.
I know, it
Yes,
just made
it's
me
a
laugh
cult.
how it was said.
I
I
have
have
friends.
friends.
That's an empty room.
Okay. But yeah, no, the shop is taken care of. There's people there to pop it up and watch it and keep it
So
going.
did Kaz leave out any books and supplies that he was using for studying?
There are definitely books open.
Vega is gonna idly like look over them, see if anything of interest sticks out. Be like, I wonder what he was reading.
Here's another question in regards to that. Was Casimir taking notes?
Of course.
Okay. So, what would be the last set of notes that Casimir would have? Like the last note or something along those lines.
Probably the last thing would be signs point to Hestia. Improbable that she is connected given prior engagement would probably be a word that he'd use. Or prior communication. Still possible, but unlikely. Requires more attention. Other name has popped up. Zalmoxis? Question mark.
You want me to spell that, by the way?
That is Z. That is Zulu Alpha Lima Mike Oscar X-ray India Sierra.
That's correct.
Yay! I win the spelling bee.
Hmm.
And then like Zalmoxis question mark. Will consult stars. And that's the last thing.
Okay. You have Omniglot translation, right, Vega?
I believe so. Let me double check on that, but I'm pretty positive I do. Yes, I do.
Then you would be able to read my notes.
You'd not only be
Heck
able to
yeah.
read the notes, but any book that Casimir was able to get, you'd be able to read. So you do see kind of like the point of an old god Zalmoxis, like the mention of it in the area in the book.
Vega's gonna. Is any of the rest of the gang here? While
you
we're
guys
waiting
want to
on
be?
Sleeping Beauty?
Jody does show up because hearing that someone was unconscious is kind of worrying. They do pop in like, hey, is everything okay?
Oh, he's fine. I went to check on him myself. He just tired himself out. I think
You
it was
sure?
the stress. Yeah, I checked on him. Sorry, Delilah keeps meowing. I think just giving him a little more sleep. We'll check on him. I can check on him in a bit if it helps give you reassurance, but I'm pretty positive he's fine. I was actually
Okay.
looking over what he ended up falling asleep reading over. It's actually very interesting. And she's gonna give Jody the down low.
Jody just does like, that's a name I've never heard before.
I don't think I've heard that Vegas heard that name either, correct?
Correct.
Yeah. Well, you are not the only one because neither have I.
Cool.
And I'm guessing that Kaz was the same way because he wouldn't have exerted himself this much to try to figure it out if he knew who it was.
Does anyone else wish to be there?
Andre will come at some point.
I would like to be there, but I cannot.
No, you're unconscious.
Yeah,
I know.
You
back to
are
sleep.
you are EP.
I am so
You
eepy
are
and needy to
inflict-
sleepies.
You are inflicted with the eeps.
Mm-hmm.
Status affliction eep.
Okay.
Meanwhile, Alvarez is like, I hate the word eepy.
I actually hate the
Don't
word
like
eepy. I prefer slimpy.
Alvarez like
Oh.
sleepy.
Carton, what are you up to while this is going on after getting those text messages? Do you stop in or do you go
Part of
look at
me,
something else?
part of me likes to think that Carden is. What time of day is it? Is it like
Morning.
midday? It's
It's
morning.
morning. Mhm.
Okay. Part of me likes to think Carden is just on top of the snack wagon, basking, and he just hears the first alert, and he's just like, "It's probably not important. Somebody's probably just talking to somebody else in the chat." And then a myriad of other text comes in, and he just exhales heavily. Guess we'll go inside.
Okay. All right.
I forgot that you named your thing Snack Wagon.
Again.
The snack wagon is the multiversal consistent.
So you have the name. So you all have the names Almoxis. You can look into them at this particular moment if you'd like to try to find something. I will say that the difficulty will be higher. Or, as mentioned, you could entreat Hestia to see if she would be able or willing to give you information.
As soon
Yeah,
as Andre
yeah,
comes
my guide,
in,
so it's easy
yeah, I was
enough
gonna
to
say,
get in
as soon as
contact with.
Andre comes in, Vega's like, Andre, we need you.
Oh, what do you need me for?
Well, we need Hestia, which means we do need you.
You don't need me for me. I understand how it is.
Oh my god, I can't believe you said that.
I have given many lifts to young people from the orphanage. They don't want me for me. They want me for the car.
They want you for your muscles.
Why is this getting so real and sad all of a sudden?
Jody just like shaking the head like, oh my god, I can't believe you did that.
Jody, didn't you get a ride from Andre recently?
No. I can fly.
Oh, you're right. You're like Goku.
You keep forgetting this.
I don't need a lift. I can get places. It's fine.
You don't need
Andre
Uber
will
either.
reach out in his way to Hestia, requesting if she is able to come to the store.
Okay. So, as she usually does from the store, she comes from upstairs. Whether or not she's taken note of Casimir and his current condition, it remains to be seen. But she comes down and into the Midnight Nook proper. Do you guys go up from the library? Do you take the books? Do you take the notes?
Take the notes at least.
Okay. And you go in. If you go up to the store proper, she will look as you kind of come up, and she'll go, "Oh, excellent. You needed to see me, Andre."
Yes, we have found at least some information. Does the name Zalmoxis mean anything to you?
There is the point where I don't know if any of you guys have seen it, but like the kindest person's face kind of harden a little bit. Where it's kind of like that kindly old grandmother, and then it's just kind of like, oh, she wasn't always a grandmother. She type of thing. And she responds with, "Yes, it does. May I ask? May I ask why you're asking?"
Um, why was it that we found the name?
So the Jedodasian peoples, Hestia was the other god that they revered in addition to Zalmoxis.
Yes, it's relating to these peoples.
Okay. Is everyone okay? I noticed that somebody's missing.
Oh, he's just being a sleeping beauty. He burnt the midnight oil too much and was stress baking beforehand, so he's taking a nap. Would you feel better if I went to check on him?
Don't worry about it. We'll be right down. And I believe Healing Hands can restore conditions, so she will emulate Healing Hands and restore Casimir to consciousness.
I just got an ice cream. I thought I wasn't going to be conscious for a while.
Have I got share?
I would.
I need
Honestly,
it.
I
Learn
would.
about us
Oh,
too,
it's
man.
I must say, you didn't bring enough for the class?
The class is on Zoom.
My point still stands.
I'll be able to download ice cream.
I have enough for all of you. If you want one, you can come and get one.
Actually,
What
you know
flavor?
what? You know what? BRB.
We both start
Oh my
getting
gosh,
up.
right, we have ice cream in the freezer.
Yes, you guys have ice cream in the freezer.
I
Yes.
hate you all.
I would give you one of my freedom popsicles. They're bomb pops. They're red, white, and blue.
Good for them.
I'm sorry, Keestreth.
But so she comes down with Casimir, who still looks tired. It's that grogginess type of aspect to it, but you don't no longer have the condition.
He looks good doing it.
Yeah, so I'll just bump that up there.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay.
Vega just says, "Good morning, Sleeping Beauty."
Good morning. My apologies for the apparent distress that I've caused you. I see all of the text in the group chat. Yes, that, my apologies. Jenny, you do not need to be that worried. I was just sleeping.
You don't normally fall asleep.
The floor isn't a good place for sleeping.
No,
That one I
not
do
really.
agree with.
Depends if you have the back for it.
Yeah.
I thought it was important to figure out some information. I've uncovered some things, but in my expediency to find out more, I may have overdone
It's okay. We picked up where you left off, sweetheart.
it.
And by
Anything
we
new?
mean Vega. She read your stuff and the rest of us turned up and hang out.
Yes, and you've brought in the big guns as well. Good to see you, and thank you for your assistance, Great Hestia.
Of course. So, I am curious as to the research that led to this, but I will explain some. Zalmoxis was adjacent to me and mine. Not really a part of us, but one that we sat there and noticed, and eventually his people began to revere me, much to his consternation. It was a conflict that he tried to escalate to a point where, and she looks kind of ashamed at this, our people's response ended up taking out all of those individuals.
Oh, question.
Yeah.
What's he the like? What's his shtick? Like, what's he the god of?
He's Not like us, where like I am the goddess of the hearth and home, and Heracles is a god of strength. He was a sage, a wonder worker, a chthonic deity of sorts, but he was most known for being a god of blood and a patron of vampires.
Oh, that smells familiar.
He he's a schemer. He's someone that if you catch his interest, be careful because he will try to manipulate you. Um, it is said that Vlad Dracul was a scion of his at some point.
Isn't that Dracula?
It is
Yes.
Yeah.
Vlad Dracul
Huh.
Tepesh.
You know that's really makes a lot of sense. So he's like the granddaddy of vampires.
A decent amount of them. Some say he's sired some of them directly, but I don't really know too much about that. He's he likes a lot of undead. He finds them fascinating and probably tries to create some of them on his own, not just vampires, but other forms of undead as well.
I am curious about why they started worshiping you as well.
That's because it's not in my notes. So
Probably
I
the
did
chill
not look at
vibes and the
theirs.
lo-fi music.
Or maybe some
Probably.
people weren't into all the. Maybe some people just weren't goths. Like,
Yeah. It could be that she was of the hearth and home and was a kind of a lot nicer than Zelmoxis,
yeah.
given that Zelmoxis's preferred form of receiving sacrifices was impaling people on spikes.
Wanting sacrifices for your sacrifices?
Zelmoxis is the embodiment of the memes, like, sometimes I just like looking at people, and sometimes I wonder what they look like with their head stuck on a stick.
Mm,
Vega thinks, do you think he had to do with me accidentally stabbing you?
It is too much of a coincidence. No.
I agree. Which Vega will relay what she means to Hestia about the whole basically. Was she like basically possessed for a hot second? Would you
Very
say?
hot second.
Oh yeah.
I wouldn't use the word possessed. I would use the word manipulated or like
Compelled.
emotional, compelled. Yeah, it was a
Compelled.
very strong compulsion.
Yes. So we'll use that word as like for her to describe like what happened, and then she just is like, do you think that has anything to do with it, considering what we were looking into at the moment?
If it is a coincidence, it is a very, very, very strong coincidence. Given his preferred method of receiving sacrifices and the fact that you had strength afterwards.
So you think it's way too you think it just makes it seems more likely to point in his direction for the reasoning?
I would
Seems-
not put it beyond him.
It seems like you've made a sacrifice too. Zolmoxis in that moment.
Hecate, forgive me! I mean, I know she ain't mad, but, you know, dramatics.
Mm-hmm.
Jody's gonna pull out their phone and send a message to the lads to ask them to see if there's any mentions, any, like, modern mentions of Zalmaxes online.
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead and roll for the lads for me then.
They are very powerful when it comes to brain.
They are very powerful when it comes to brain.
Just to cover bases,
They
Cardin's
have
going
many.
to send a quick DM to oh my god,
Francine?
Brandine.
Yeah.
Brandine. I thought her name was Francine for a hot second.
Right? Right? I'm just like, wait, no, that's not right. That sounds like an actual name.
Brandine could be a name.
Jody. Leadership is max. So yeah, it's that is a mental leadership check since they're braining.
Okay.
By the way, I want to
And then
just make an
I had,
aside that while they're
sorry.
chatting and stuff, that Vega went to make some tea for Hestia
Okay.
to be nice.
And
Do
then
I
that
have
would
this
be scale. Yeah. Mischief making monkey, Captain Shenanigans. I can't figure out a way for either of those, either of your titles to do it. But if you want to, I'm willing to hear that, because if you increase your scale, you increase their scale.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Oh my gosh, so many monkeys.
Mm-hmm. What are your callings? Warrior, trickster, outsider. Okay.
I just had the dumbest thought. You guys know about the cat distribution system?
Yes.
Let me
Imagine doing the whole like horde whatever mechanic, and it's just 30 to 50 cats, and it's like the cat distribution system going wild.
No, you are the cat distribution system at that point.
Yes.
You just keep giving people cats
Nice.
It's like
Just plop them
from
on
your
their laps.
from your endless supply.
I'm a mobile cat cafe.
I don't really like forcing keywords into it, but we can invoke a calling instead. And I think outsider would be fitting here. You
Yeah.
may spend a legend and 2 momentum instead of just a legend for those titles, if you'd like.
Sure, okay.
Okay, so 2 momentum. And then that would be scale 2.
Yeah.
Yep.
They don't get any specialties or anything, so
do I do the same thing?
there you go.
8 successes. That would be a whichever. Let me take a look at your stuff real quick. So what are you having Brandine look into? Empathy, Brandine is 5. Okay. Do you have any skills at 5? You do not.
Oh, I don't.
Okay.
Oh.
So go ahead and bump up a skill to 5 real quick, and then make a roll using that skill, and then just bump it back down. Perfect. And is there anything in particular, 3 successes, that you're having Brandine look into? Or are you having them help are you having her help the lads, so to speak?
I think I'm having her help the lads.
Okay. So that's 11 successes.
Hell yeah.
Heck yeah.
Okay.
Poor Brandine. I like to think she plays LOL with the lads when they have free time.
One of them just appears behind her. It's like, hey, need your help, son.
And
they
then
live
just
on the island.
her away.
Yep. There's some of them up there. However many they need.
However many want to be there at any given time.
Yeah, they planted
Their
some peach trees
vacation
up.
home.
They planted some peach trees up there. They gotta make sure they grow properly.
Exactly. With
Do you think they try to troll people with crypto coin?
no.
Good.
We'll into that.
They won't fall for that scam. Come on.
They just download the PNGs of those monkey crypto coins.
Yeah, they thought that was really funny. It's like, oh my god, they think we look like this?
I love that. Sorry, go ahead.
No, it's good. So with 11 successes in total, there is a few, and they are kind of on the most of the few mentions of Zelmoxis are in a couple of mentions of like niche forum posts
Naturally.
type of thing, where the main where the main line of interest is stuff like gothic related aspects and vampires, and a lot of them are kind of like how Cernunnos would be used today.
Yeah.
The lads, in comparison, like they send messages to you, you ask Hestia confirms or denies to the best of her abilities what some of these things are, and you realize that a lot of these people have a misunderstanding of what Zelmoxis is. There are a few of these posts that do mention aspects of him in relation to the Scholomance, where it is theorized that in the time between his people being colonized and today, he started or founded or is the headmaster of the school. But those are more kind of academic related papers that are very buried in the sea of academia. Is there anything in particular that you're looking for with 11 successes?
I want to see if there's any indication that he or groups under him are involved with like other groups of people. See if like I can find any connections to.
Okay.
Like-
With 11 successes, you follow the line of the Solomance in and of itself. You know that that is a school for sorcerers. You know that a lot of the antagonists that are facing you guys are sorcerers, and there is a name that kind of comes up in regards to a couple of conversations that looks familiar. That would be Mark Chandler, who was a member of the Deicide Compact. You know that valedictorians are meet with the headmaster, and whatever happens after that. Who knows? That's a mystery that's unsolvable. But salutatorians are free to go.
I don't know what that word means.
That is the person that's underneath the valedictorian.
I don't know what a valedictorian is.
Valedictorian is the highest. What's the word I'm looking for?
Top of your class.
Yeah,
Okay.
is the top of a graduating class.
We don't really
The
use that
head
word in
nerd.
Britain, so.
That's fair.
Just like the difference between first and second class degrees.
Yeah.
Getting real sick of this construction.
I get a better idea of the structure of whatever the fuck they're doing. Conspiracy, I guess?
Should we maybe contact our contacts with the local vampires?
You want to get a hold of Stefan?
Possibly.
I'm sure he'll be thrilled to see us.
Not quite as one would see, say, an honored friend, but we might find some.
Hey, we're
More
sorry we locked you in
information?
a box for weeks and forgot about you. You mind helping us out?
If you say no, you're going back in the box.
I will put you back in the box. I'm not gonna have to invite in the box, I'm only joking.
Sorry we did this. We won't do it again. By the way, we'll do it again if you don't give us what we want.
I'm not gonna throw him back in the box.
Naughty
I was
children
joking.
go in the pear wriggler.
Jody doesn't actually believe in locking people up.
God, I hope so.
There are denizens. To see if there's denizens or people who might know things in regards to other vampires. And you
I
do
can go
have.
to the speakeasy again.
Sounds like a good
I was
idea.
about to say.
Ask around.
Okay. All right. Hestia will wait for you guys to finish and go. Is there anything else that you require my assistance with?
The fact that you gave us a lot of information that we were trying to figure out helped us out a lot.
Yeah. It is concerning if Heracles is working with Zalmoxis, who so discontent with gods, whether or not Heracles believes or is aware of Zalmoxis' intentions. He Thank you for letting me know.
Of
Once
course.
again, thank you for your assistance as well.
And Hestia will bow her head slightly as politely and excuses herself and heads back upstairs to return to her domain.
Head home.
Mm.
I think with Estia gone, I'll step closer to Vega and kind of give her a hug. My apologies, I did not expect this to happen. I did not mean to worry you, or any of you.
I wasn't really worried. I more had the feeling that you just wore yourself out from working too hard. I leave you alone for one night, and this is what you do. As she
Yes.
playfully tussles his hair.
Yeah, we basically moved in, huh? You here every other night?
In other news, I think I need I think I need to take a shower. Stinky.
Go take a shower, Stinky.
With that, he'll head upstairs.
All right. So
All
we
right,
have-
game plan. Oh wait,
Yeah.
go take a shower.
Well, you
Jody's
guys can
also
still
gonna-
figure out what
Yeah,
your
Jody's
plan
also
is.
gonna fill their dad in on things I found so far.
While doing that, Vega, because I'm sure Kaz doesn't care that when she goes into the kitcheny area to make things, as long as she doesn't make a mess or use a lot of stuff, she'll just get she'll put some money in the drawer to make up for anything, and she'll also write down a grocery list, but she'll just make a little bit of food for everybody. Also, especially because he needs to eat when he's done showering after
Yeah.
having him beauty sleep.
Kaz will need to find a way to return that money.
All right.
All right, so go ahead.
Sun Wukong respond. It takes much longer than it
Mhm.
should, but he responds with a thumbs up emoji.
Yep. I'm just keeping him informed.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So we got our info. Which, thank you, Andre. I really appreciate you helping out by calling in your guide. That was very much coming in clutch. You're like our pommel horse when we need you.
Wow.
A horse. I see. Yeah.
Topical!
Very much so.
I mean, Andre is strong enough to be the pack mule.
But now that we have all this info, what do we want to do with it?
I think the... Wait, no, Casimir's not there. He's showered.
Hmm.
You just hear
He
singing
just
coming
sticks
from
his head
upstairs.
So we mentioned the speakeasy. I'm gonna remind you
Yeah.
guys of some things that you can do with paths. Is you can tap them for context to help you find things, or to help you look for information, or to give you some aspects in regards to it. So go ahead and look up some of your paths. Like I know Vega's into the occult. You can do the same thing with guides. If you have guides that are into that, you can use them to like find followers or things along those lines.
My
Or
guide
you could
stick.
just hit the brick and try to get it the old-fashioned way with some investigations or things like that. I will let you guys discuss that. I'm going to take a short break, and I'll be right back.
Okay.
Is it a potty break?
Maybe.
In terms of actual like gumshoe detective work, one of my paths is literally investigation.
Nice. Private investigation.
I think Jody will offer
you,
to
like,
help other people with things, and if their help isn't needed, we'll do some other stuff until there's more people around at the speakeasy.
Makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna make a joke and be like, "Are you like Spider Noir?"
It's a good one, though.
What?
No, he's a
Why
dragon.
not? I was gonna go with Columbo, but yeah, sure.
Columbo
We'll go with that one.
with Garden makes sense.
It
You're gonna
works.
do Columbo. If you're gonna be Columbo, you've got to do the voice.
No, I can't do the voice. It's
And
so
you can't be
iconic.
Columbo.
Aw.
Yeah,
Yeah, go
Guess
to
it-
the we'll sing.
I guess it could be history's second greatest detective, Gooby Doo. Sorry, I apologize. I need to use his official name, Scoobert Doo the Second.
I thought his name was
So you had to do
Scuba
his voice
Duper.
instead.
And I've returned.
Welcome back.
Welcome
Did you
back.
wash your
Hello.
hands?
Yes.
We've had a raid just now, so
Oh,
Yay!
hello, Raiders.
Hello, Raiders.
All right. So,
We're under attack.
speaking of under attack, maybe
us to
people like
make an
vampires.
income so we can actually
what are we,
do some stuff.
What are we doing?
Like I
I'm gonna
said,
burn Brussels to the ground.
Jody's gonna offer to help people with whatever investigations they're doing, but otherwise wait until the speakeasy is more populated.
Okay.
with people who might know vampires if they're there later at night.
Okay. Alright, so that's Jody. I'm just looking over here at this. I'm just
And
gonna go around.
if no one needs the help, they're gonna do their own thing.
Valid. Vega, what are you doing?
I don't know, because I have Nyx as a guide. I don't know if she would talking to her would be useful. Plus, I'd have to wait till nighttime anyway.
It's nighttime somewhere. Use
What?
VPN.
Use a VPN.
Jesus.
Okay.
that was a good one.
You can't wait till night. Now, I do want to let you know that looking that the thing that I left on was talking with vampires, which would be underneath Nyx's purview as a goddess of the night. She would be able to at least know where they are. So I will have you keep that in mind. If that is something that you want to do, I'm going to move on for now and ask Casimir, what you doing?
I'm gonna talk to Zoria.
Going the Midnight Star. All right.
Indeed.
It's midnight somewhere.
My patron and guide. I mean, it doesn't need to be Polonochnaya. Could be the afternoon one.
Yeah, it'd probably be easiest to get to the afternoon one at the moment. Okay. Cardin, what are you doing?
Considering one of my paths is private investigation, I think I'm just gonna do some like old school gumshoe detective work.
Okay. Gonna do some old school detective work. All right. And Andre, what about you?
I would like to tap the path of the Fioi, so speak of Atlas and friends.
Okay.
Listen, friends. It sounds like a show.
So I think we'll start with Cardin then. Now, are you
scared you say that?
Yeah. Excellent. Okay, so you want to do. So, do you want to do a roll, or do you want to tap your path for it, or like, do you want to? How would you like to go about that?
Considering I've never once invoked a path, I think I'm gonna go with that.
Okay. So there's a couple ways to do it. We can find some contacts that might know something. So you find some other private or investigative types, like maybe some detectives or things along those lines. Or, given that you are investigating something, and I know that you're used to playing mutants and masterminds, we can make a roll, and if you succeed that roll with 2 extra dice, you tell me what you find.
Oh boy.
How's that sound?
Yeah, I like that one more, just because I'm not good in social scenes.
Okay.
Alright. So do you just give me the roll?
What's a good investigation roll? I'm willing to hear suggestions. I'm gonna say subterfuge.
Okay. Alright, I'll take that.
Mental subterfuge. Or mental or social. Your choice.
I hear a cat.
Me
Same.
too. I will have to go feed them. Hold on.
It must be the strays.
I was about to say, man, Brussels really has a stray problem.
I wouldn't consider it a problem.
They enrich us.
Just pet all the cats you see.
Alma likes cats. Cats do not like Alma. Too big.
Looks at the massive wolf.
Too scary.
There we go. I got him, and now he's in my lap.
Yay!
Yay!
All
I'm
right.
waiting for him to trigger your sound thing by meowing,
There it is.
so it's super
Just adding.
accurate.
I'm
Extremely
Aw.
good.
Aw,
Wonderful.
baby.
Yeah.
Perfect.
So, how about that roll, Ghost?
Yeah, sorry.
It'll be a dice modifier 2.
Dice modifier 2. Okay, we're gonna go with subterfuge. I'm gonna take the debuff and go with composure actually, because I like it more for flavor.
Okay.
He has got a lot to say.
Baloo is
Yeah.
vocal.
He sure is.
I did, in fact,
He's-
make a marker so I can highlight this for you.
We sure do love our Baloo.
Mm-hmm.
I don't put the enhancement in the
Yeah,
the
because
thing,
it's not enhancement. It's a dice modifier.
Oh, so do I put that in or no?
You put 2 in the dice modifier box.
Okay.
And you can pick profiling, tracking, or stealth for a specialty.
I'm gonna go with tracking. Because I like to think this is a lot of tailing, listening in, and stuff like that. It's basically like one of those old Assassin's Creed mini games.
Yeah.
We go a mow.
5
Yay!
successes is fantastic. So,
Ooh, 5 is very good.
what do you find?
Alright, so I did think this through. What would be helpful? Because we're looking at vampire stuff, right?
Yes.
Okay. We already have somebody can already get in contact with them.
Guess information about what they've been up to recently.
You know what? Yeah, I'm gonna do that. What are the moves in the Vampire Underground? What's going on? Like, can I get like a sit rep of like the past month of goings on in the vampire circles?
So, I think the thing that you kind of find out relatively quickly is there's obviously multiple vampire circles.
Yeah.
There's not many vampires in Brussels.
There's the La
in comparison.
Sombra, the
I wasn't gonna make the joke, but
I
I'm
would use
so glad you
Requiem.
did.
I would use the Deva. I would use I wouldn't. There's probably in total a couple to a few dozen vampires in Brussels in its entirety. And the vampires like Stefan actually make up the lesser amounts. They're kind of like the hooligan types. Because I've been playing a lot of Yakuza 0, they're the ones that kind of patrol around and try to get people that way. But the majority of them frequent places like Sirens. If you don't remember what that is the nightclub that you guys first went to.
Right.
Back when you guys were Origin characters.
Baloo,
Or they
Steve
tried
Adams.
where they try to make connections to get food that way. Mostly because there's quite a few younger vampires that are trying to re-romanticize, so to speak, them and try to put it up so that way they are more, what's the word I'm looking for? We're not just monsters, we're people too type of thing.
Twilight vampires.
woe is
Kind of.
us. This is the skin of a killer.
I never asked for
Don't
this.
look at me, Bella.
Don't you bring Adam Johnson into this.
So you do know that there are some that are easier to approach socially rather than ones that'll attack people or try to lure them on site. That is what you find.
I'd like to imagine, like, as soon as Cardin leaves, things just get real serious. The grayscale kicks in, and it's just Cardin monologuing to himself anytime he finds a new lead.
Yeah.
Too bad Shards isn't out yet with Farewell to Heroes. Anywho, we'll go with Andre next. You were tapping a path. You were tapping the Theoe path.
Yes, I will see what I can learn from Atlas and anyone Atlas is in touch with.
Okay. Is there anything in particular that you are looking for?
Nothing specific.
Okay.
Indeed.
Speak, my brother.
Right. Trying to figure out if you wanted do you want contacts or do you want to do kind of what we just did with Ghost?
Contacts is fine.
Okay. So the thing about Atlas is that Atlas himself is kind of a easy to notice figure. He's pretty large. But the catch with the Theoe path is that you can find worshippers of the Theoe. And they there are a couple who recognize you from the news coverage the other day, and they're like, "Oh, hey, Andre, right?
Yep, that's me.
Hey, good to see you. Yeah, this is the guy that I was telling you." And they kind of go on a little bit that way. Gosh, not looking for anything in particular. That's rough.
Oh.
I think from some of the worshippers, you also hear about some of the more social aspect of vampires, the more club-going vampires. You also hear inklings of, like, what's the word I'm looking for?
I did think of one somewhat specific thing I realised.
Yeah, go for it.
I was curious in that, so they have different groups or tribes or whatever. Are
Sure.
they different just in that, like, different families? Or are they different in the kind of scale of Vampire the Masquerade, where different families have whole different styles?
It's closer to the second, but rather than it being different clans, it's kind of like a Jiangxi, for example, is going to be different than a European vampire type of thing.
Like the difference between a European swallow and an African swallow.
Exactly. Because vampires are very prevalent throughout a lot of creatures, or a lot of cultures' history, not creatures. So you do find that out. You do realize that probably going to the equivalent of Chinatowns may not be as fruitful as going over to Sirens or some other ones. You kind of get that from the Theoe worshippers. You also there is one that kind of comes up and mentions that just kind of in passing conversation that a couple of his sorcerer buddies have been acting a little weird. You can't really put a finger on it, but like they've been kind of quiet, not coming out as much. He wasn't really sure what's going on with that. And that's what we have there. I'm gonna roll a dice. 3. What is Jody looking at again? Jody's going to the speakeasy when it opens.
And before that, they're just gonna continue doing their community help out stuff.
Excellent. Vega's waiting until nighttime. Casimir
Mhm.
is going to visit Zoria.
Yes.
Okay. So, as you go to the thrice 10th kingdom, go forward towards the castle in the distance. You are escorted. More because the thrice 10th kingdom being an otherworld is a little bit dangerous. Even though you can probably handle yourself in regards to it, but they still like to escort you just to be safe, given who and what you are.
They wouldn't want to get into trouble with Zoria.
You are able to meet up with the Afternoon Star, as by the time that you get over there.
Compared to the Midnight Star, what does she look like again?
Compared to the Midnight Star, so whereas the Midnight Star is kind of white-haired, kind of darker related clothing that kind of reminds you of Starlight, she's kind of blonde and wears kind of more earthen tones. She is kind of the late Middle Ages, I would say, in comparison to the youth of the others.
So, you say late Middle Ages, so pre-Renaissance?
Oh, I meant physically, as in appearance.
Okay.
Um,
Also, he-who.
Yeah. But yeah, probably in a pre-Renaissance style cut, given where she's at at this particular moment in time. But yeah, it's more earthen tones, kind of representing the lateness of the day. So, how can I help you, young Casimir?
I think I'll go to one knee for her. We are in
She
need
nods.
of information. The forces working against us and the world are hidden very well. We have found the name Zalmoxis. Do you know of him, of his history, of his activity?
Let me make a roll. Target number 7. How many dice should I give her? I'll give her 8 dice on this particular roll. Difficulty
Yes.
3.
How many? Yes. Normal success.
Yeah. She pauses a moment and goes, I have heard of him, or more accurately, I've heard of his followers, yes. One of his followers.
The one from Transylvania?
Yes. The dragon.
Yes. It is a familiar name.
So what information do you seek that we may be able to help with?
I cannot say I know any specific thing we are looking for, but there is something that has been bothering me. As we were investigating this deicide compact, whenever we deal with something that is tied to that one that is the crux of it all, we come across this scent of blood. I would like to confirm that it is Elmoxis that we are looking for, or if there is still yet another behind the curtains.
All right. Let us see. And she kind of sits down, holds out her hands.
I think I'll...
Sorry, I just thought from afar Vega's like somebody's holding hands with my man.
Oh no! This is my mom!
Yeah, it's okay. It's his
I
mother.
know. I know, it's just being silly.
I know. I think I'll
Hee-hoo.
get closer and sit with her and put my hands into hers.
He is going to give you scale on this roll. If you would like to make another read the signs roll.
Okay. Yep.
Do it.
Cunning.
She is going to give
academics.
you scale 3
Okay.
for her assistance.
Just the same roll as before. The specialty religion.
Mm-hmm.
Scale 3, enhancement 2 for my staff to divine the future.
Enhancement 4. You are in her lair at this particular moment.
Thank you, mother. Any addition to difficulty, or what would the difficulty be here?
With her help, it's difficulty 2 in regards to this.
2.
So,
okay.
Especially because like your complications taken care of, Hestia healed that.
That is very kind of her as well. Yes. We do love the mother goddesses in this Scion game.
We love our mommies.
Well, okay. That is 14 successes.
Yay!
Damn.
A divine success.
Dear
record.
God.
Literally, in this sense. Mother dearest. Oh, you're muted.
Like I said, we love our mommies.
Alfrens is muted?
Yes, my little volume controller fell and my headphones came out.
Oh no.
So
Whoops.
I was trying to mute it quickly so that way there wasn't reverb and anything.
No worries.
You can get that fixed.
This might be the best roll that I've had in this
record.
game.
Scale is great.
Scale is pretty good.
So part of the reason why I gave you that is to show you guys how good scale is, to get you guys to use titles and things. Because scale is fantastic.
Amazing.
Okay. So,
Mommy scale.
as you kind of look forward, this is different. This is, even though it is stars and constellations, there is an aspect of it. Let me double check, actually, to see what
Kaz
her...
gets some of the good shit.
Yes, Pantheons, Bugovi. What are her purviews? The Shining Star. Yes. Okay. Cool. It is kind of like there is the aspect of constellations, but you like her magic. It seems to be fueled more by life itself, where it kind of comes forward and is the different connection points and finding the void in the constellations between that. As you take a look in regards to Zalmoxis with 12 threshold successes to see if there's another person behind the curtain, your aspect of yourself is brought back to CBU into the Solomance, where you smelled the roses and brimstone. And it's almost like tickling a memory where you do smell the scent of blood, beneath that. You go forward to find the connections from the Solomance to the Deicide Compact, and the smell of blood is there. You go forward to the actions of Heracles, and while Heracles' presence was the smell of olives, beneath that was the smell of blood. And it was very faint in some of these other instances, but it was there nonetheless, and you do get the idea that Zalmoxis is the one that's manipulating these events, or at least attempting to.
Hmm.
With 12 threshold successes, is there anything else that you're looking for?
I was wondering, did we get confirmation about what the Rose and Brimstone was?
The Rose and Brimstone is simply the scent of the headmaster of the Solomance.
Okay, just unique character. Fair enough. I'd like to phone a friend. Guys, like, folks, what are we thinking?
Good question. Trying to think. So I'm wondering if there's anything specific we can do to help us, like, track down with this knowledge.
I'm going to consider that something that you guys are taking a look into.
Mm-hmm.
It's very easy. So you know where an avatar of Zalmoxis is right now. You could go back there and you could fight the dragons and fight the demons and fight Zalmoxis if you wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
Whether or not that would be the smart thing to do is something else. And again, that's only an avatar of Zalmoxis. That's not
That is
necessarily going to get him
also
stuck.
one of.
Yeah.
Should be more.
Like, whenever you've interacted with the exception of where Casimir is at right now, as Casimir is in an other world.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever you've interacted with gods in the world itself, it's been through incarnations. They have never fully shown themselves to you guys, because one, divine or not, for some of them, for them to manifest in their full divinity would hurt you guys at minimum.
Mm.
And for two, fate bindings. They do not show up in regards to it, but they can spin off a part of themselves to show you guys or to explain things to you guys.
All right.
So tracking Zalmoxis may be something that you would have to do later. If you want to take the fight to him, you guys could not do that accurately at this moment in time.
Mm.
Okay.
I think the questions I want to know is what his ultimate goal is and how close it is to being achieved.
That is definitely a good one. Yeah, I would like to try and dig into their objectives.
Zalmoxis's objective, as you kind of sit there and take a look through what the future would look like should he succeed
Mm-hmm.
through this magic. Should Zalmoxis succeed in everything, Zalmoxis would use organizations like the Deicide Compact to get people to turn their backs on the gods. And he would then become the pantheon head of the Keepers of the World.
Mm.
That is Zalmoxis' end goal.
Okay. So the Deicide Compact is pretty much advocating for a independence from the gods but actually trying to put a different god in power.
Right. Zalmoxis is more using that as one part of it, and then he's using the Keepers of the World to split off, to seal off the other worlds from this world. And then if the Godheads and the other gods can't come down here, why wouldn't he just make what he wants? Because he's here and they're not. Think of it kind of like the end of Campaign 1 of Critical Role, for those of you that are familiar with it. When Vecna succeeded in becoming a god on this plane, there's nothing that the other gods could do.
Mm-hmm.
So if
my question about like how far along the plan is like trying to find out if we have a time limit.
I don't think I could put a hard time limit on it in regards to it.
Then maybe instead of that particular thing, maybe I would like to find out like what the next, lack of a better name, like nexus point would be. Like, where do we need to be to hold off this future?
Okay.
How many spanners do we have to throw in the works and where?
The greatest thing that you guys could do to throw a wrench in this plan would be to cut off the head of the snake that is the Deicide Compact. Because then he doesn't have a mortal force convincing people to turn their backs on the gods. So it would be more gods telling people, hey, this is a good idea, and it's just kind of like, but why is that a good idea if you guys are gods too? So it's kind of like the way that Zalmoxis is going about it is there's tiers to it, and the tiers that you guys are able to affect right now would be the mortal tier. You're not like, and then to get metatextual about this, when you guys reach demigod, then you can start affecting Zalmoxis directly.
Well, that would make sense.
That's a while away because we only have 2 legends.
Yeah, I know.
But that is the short of it in the best way that I could sit there and put it. That would be the best thing to do, would be to eliminate the Deicide Compact and what Jody's doing right now, which is restore the faith that has been lost.
Mm-hmm. That is a very good attack vector. I think Casimir is also feeling some nervousness, some anxiety about this. And this is not necessarily about like divining the future, but pretty much asking Zoria for help or advice in asking her if she could tell him where to go or what to do next.
That was a message that I needed to check. I think the best thing for you to do right now would be to forge your own story. I know there is an aspect of us where we've talked about what you were created for. And while I'm not trying to dismiss that, and while I do think that it really sucks to live in interesting times, forging your own story, doing the things for you and yours, I think. And however many people that includes would probably be more helpful than otherwise.
But forging my own story, we are in so many story paths or threads already. There is too much, and you can see like he's kind of getting up and starting to pace a little around here in this domain. There's the Midnight Nook, the Friends, the library. There's like I cannot be in multiple places at once to protect that which has been built and that the Friends hold dear. And then he stops for a moment. If Gloria has something to say, there's the moment for it.
As he stops, she just watches.
Kind of turns directly to her. You said I need to forge my own story. The memories of being told all the kinds of folk tales from the Bogovi kind of flit through his mind, trying to separate what has been told, what has been fabricated, and then he says, do you happen to know where Koshé resides this time?
Are you asking for Koshé, or are you asking for what makes him tick? Those are two different locations.
That is correct. Both, perhaps. I am,
Okay.
I think finding out where he keeps his death is a good first step.
From what I'm aware, and she tells you things like it's somewhere buried on an island that you have to get lost to find. She knows it's somewhere in this domain, but she does not know specifically where it is, because the point of Koshé was to hide it.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't do much good if you could just ask a divining god where it's at, because then it's just, oh yeah, sure, I'll ask this and get that over there. And there may be other magical protections that prevent divination against it. As you are aware from some of these memories of the stories, the Baba Yaga might be Koshé's sibling.
Then I may need to travel into the woods and speak with Baba Yaga.
I ask that you do not do so alone.
I will ask if any of my friends will join me when they know the risk.
Understood.
Thank you for your guidance, as always. You are always the star that I look to.
You bows her head. She reaches forward and gently touches your cheek. I believe in you, Casimir.
Kind of lean into it.
And then she lets you on your way.
Hmm.
Okay. As night begins to fall, Michi has stepped away for the moment,
Mm-hmm.
so we'll go to Jody. I was
Hello.
going to save Jody for last, but we'll go to Jody.
It's me.
So, it is you. You head over to the speakeasy. After a hard day,
Go in, say hi to everybody. Because they all know me by now.
yeah, you walk in. There's the big old cheer of people raising their glasses,
Eh.
like "Hey!"
I still have that temporary title on.
Mm-hmm.
I'm everyone's
And-
best friend.
And it is a path.
Yeah.
All right. So, what are you looking for here in the speakeasy?
I want to know first, are there any vampires present?
Evens or odds?
And odds.
There are no vampires currently present.
Okay.
You said odds, right? Yes.
Do I smell the bloody scent anywhere?
Faintly. Now that you know its associations.
I want to basically ask around for like. What information don't we have about them right now that we need?
Vampires?
Yeah.
I'm just going to reuse sirens for a club in regards to it, so you know where they're at there. Go ahead and roll for me real quick. I'm going to give you 3 skills to choose from: empathy, leadership, or persuasion. And social.
I'm good at one of those.
Mm-hmm.
Persuade groups help because
Yes,
Don't like
persuade
people?
groups does help. Yep.
how do you tap a path again? What does it do?
So you can have contacts or access to things or anything along that.
Okay,
Generally,
so
there's
not
the
helpful.
first one that's spawn a helpful NPC, and then the other way to do it is you get a dice modifier of 2, and then you tell me what happens if you succeed. Like a hero point in Mutants and
I don't
Masterminds or
really know
Pathfinder.
what would happen if I succeeded though. That would be different than what would happen anyway.
Very fair.
So I would like a +2.
You can still tap that in there, and I'll just
Yeah.
fuck around with it, see what happens.
That's
If you
2
want
dice,
the
right?
base-
Not 2 enhancement.
Correct, that is 2 dice.
Yeah. 7 successes.
With 7 successes, trying to remember what are other creatures of the night that aren't just stereotypical monsters, but I can't recall any offhand. But a couple of denizens matching that description kind of come up and they kind of start talking about it as he kind of brought up the situation. They're more talking to each other and including you in the conversation as they kind of like go back and forth like 2 old dudes at a bar.
Yeah.
And information that you get is you kind of get don't go over here at night. These are where the vampires that are going to attack people are. Go over here to these clubs. And then one of them goes, hasn't there been some new ones in town lately?
New ones?
Yeah. Older speaking folks. Kind of rustic. Nah, that's not right. Older than that. I don't really know how to describe it. old guys though, and they kind of have a little bit of entourages, I suppose. I think would be the best term. I haven't seen them myself. I've just kind of heard rumors, but I don't know if
Might
they're
be-
in town or sticking out of town
It
at this
might be
moment.
the guys we're looking to talk to.
I think last time that I heard them in town was kind of the southern portion of the lower town. So that would be here. I'm gonna ping. That is where I saw them. That's where I heard that they were last.
I'll go check that out at some point. Very helpful.
Indeed.
Be careful. If they're new, we don't really know what they are.
I mean,
Yeah.
the one of the last vampires I saw exploded, so I'll be fine.
Fair enough. Okay.
I will tell the others, like, there's new vampires in town, and apparently they're, like, super old and weird, so I'm gonna go... I think we should go check this out at some point.
Hmm.
Apparently they live in this area.
Okay.
I don't know what that area is called.
Good question. It is close to. See. Apparently, Fox's Square.
Interesting.
South of Lemonia.
That's the metro station. Yeah.
So somewhere in that area, they've been seen around.
I think Michi is still away for the moment.
After that, I'm gonna, like, hang out some more with the people at the speakeasy and ask around if anyone needs help with anything.
There are some that kind of like ask for help with chores, or like like there's a couple that kind of ask about that. There's the Cyclops that was in there.
Yeah,
type of thing.
buddy.
Yeah, it kind of makes a joke about coming and working out on
Oakley or something like that? Is that him?
What was that?
Is it like Oakley or something like that?
Something like that.
Got a name in my notes that might be him.
I have it somewhere in a book, but
Yeah.
that's because I literally pulled him out of the book to insert him into the scene.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you back, Michi?
Not yet?
There's in chat,
Oh,
yes.
yeah.
There we go. All right. So it has been getting to
I have
nighttime.
informed people in the group chat that there are apparently new vampires in town that are very old and have an entourage.
When
boy.
I have signal again, you will see after a minute of reading through that they're that I will send like received confirmation that Zalmaxis is in fact the blood god associated with everything we've been dealing with. Might not be possible yet to deal with him directly. I've received some advice on how to proceed, but that would
And then-
require dealing with some rather dangerous individual.
Yeah, and when that message comes through, Jody goes, "Oh yeah, also I smelled some hints of that weird blood scent around the speakeasy. I think some of his people have been there."
Good to know.
Okay. But that being said, Vega, you wanted to talk with Nyx.
Yeah.
Okay. So you could do some of the stuff that you've done beforehand. You can talk with her or entreat her. You can use a guide as if it were her path and talk with some Nyx worshippers or some people who are more nocturnal to figure some things out. How would you like to speak with Nyx?
I think we will do something I haven't done before and go talk to some worshippers, because I'm sure they also would have
Okay.
some information.
Absolutely. So, what information are you looking for?
Um, well, after Vega would see Jodie's message, which she would give a little thumbs up emoji in response to, and would say, I'm gonna see what kind of information I can gather as well in regards to that group in particular. Wish me luck. She's gonna uh, try to see if they can specifically give her info that to that group that Jodie found out about, because that would be very helpful.
Okay.
My brain went derp at halfway through there for a second.
You're fine. You're fine.
Hell yeah, I am.
Brains do that.
Brains are weird. They're like soup.
So, you know what? We're gonna go a little bit weird, even though you guys have been sitting there and doing things in regards to vampires, because Nyx is also a mother of monsters. And we're gonna
Hell
say that
yeah!
you find a small,
Oh my-
young vampire.
Oh my god, she's a mother of monsters. She's Lady Gaga.
Sure.
No, Lady Gaga is one of his Scions.
Yeah, that would make sense,
Incarnation?
actually. Also, when you said that the one thing was a relative of Baba Yaga, I was like, I can't believe that they're related to Keanu Reeves.
Again, we've had this conversation, I
Yep,
believe.
we have. I'm moving on.
Anyway.
But you find a young vampire, somebody who's probably hasn't been undead for more than 5 years, type of thing. And they seem to be cordial in regards to it. They do ask if they could get like something to eat or anything along those lines, or if you'd rather that they wait, that they will wait. But
we can get something to eat, as in like have like a bite from like it like
if Vega's willing, if Vega's
give a
willing to
little bit?
offer, or if
yeah.
there was an animal that they want to sit there and do. Okay.
Big is willing to offer, especially in exchange for information.
Absolutely. It's kind of a double-edged sword, and you have to wait a little while before you're able to get the information, because your blood is still blood by the strictest definition, but it's also Icarus.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of like an aspect of being high for a little bit, and you have to wait for him to come down and get lucid enough to talk. But they do kind of explain, yeah, these guys are old, wearing old formal clothing, carrying swords, old type thing.
I see.
What kind of information are you looking for?
I'm gonna ask the group, if you guys think it would be okay to mention that the reasoning, like, not like full story, but just because we're looking into people who might still follow Zelmox's, like, more, what's Tremona use for? Religiously? Rigidly? Devoutly?
Zealously?
Zealously would be a good term. Do you guys think it would be okay to, like, just, like, not, like, go into detail, but just say, like, hey, I'm looking into it because of this, just because we've learned, I want to learn a bit more about this guy out of curiosity. I've read about him, like, try to, like, play it off like that.
That's fine.
Okay.
Okay. Then he'll this vampire will kind of nod. They'll um, I don't know. They could be. They sound from that area, but I couldn't say. I know they
Have you-
haven't shown up where
Go ahead.
at Our Lady's temple, but
That makes sense. From what I remember from past history, they weren't the biggest fan of. Well, at least Lamoxis wasn't the biggest fan of Hestia. When some of his followers started worshiping her as well, so I guess it would make sense that they would stay away from another deity, especially a Theoi.
I mean, yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. But if you're going to look into them, older vampires can be scary. Uh, Even if they're not necessarily as strong as you guys might be, they might be. They have experience, and that experience in and of itself can be terrifying.
I believe you.
Well,
Do you
friends,
have any,
You're making me upset that I do not play charisma at this moment.
It's not my fault you don't have the sun purview.
Ah!
Do you have
But,
any advice or tips on how you think? Because I'm not going to go in alone. That would just be, I think, a fool's journey. But I have, I have friends that are going to go with me when we go to try to speak to them because we have an idea of where they've been congregating lately. But do you have any tips on how best do you think going to communicate or how to be prepared in case anything goes sour?
read up and make sure that if things go sour, I don't know. It feels really uncomfortable to tell you guys vampire weaknesses, especially when, yeah, they can be found relatively easily, but fire and sunlight are the best. I don't know if any of you guys have either of those, but
Yes.
Huh.
We may. I am not there, but we may.
I will say personally, I do not, as I will say blatantly, I look to Nyx as my guide, so and Hecate as well, so I'm someone who is a lover of the night, just as much as you are somebody who worships the night.
yeah,
But
just be careful, be polite, and
show them
I don't
deference
know.
in a way.
In a way, I don't know. They've mostly kept to themselves. It seemed like they're looking for something, but I don't know what. I couldn't tell you.
That bit of information alone is very helpful, actually.
Yeah.
I really appreciate that. I appreciate you helping and being willing to talk, actually.
Of course.
I hope the snack was also up to par.
Very much so. Thank you.
I would get a good Yelp review.
And somewhere in the distance, Casimir's going, someone's eating my girl!
Oh, that sounds bad!
I know!
Hey, no, hey, whoa, whoa!
I avoided saying eating out.
Uh-huh.
I would laugh if somehow Kamsey came back from lurking just because of that.
Oh, it wouldn't surprise me.
Okay.
A chill goes down Cardin's spine. There's been a joke somewhere. I'm not there to point it out.
There's
Step
literally
into
a
the joke
fruit.
hole.
Jody.
Uh-huh.
Oh, go ahead. Nope, go ahead.
Oh,
Vega.
I was gonna say before they part ways,
Mhm.
just gonna say Vega would exchange contact info, just in case. Also to let them know that so that way they'll have the peace of mind after talking to the vampires that I'm still alive. I ain't dead yet. For later on,
Hmm.
All right.
just to be nice. Anyway, to the Jody.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Jody.
Yeah.
A while ago, you and Carden made clones of technological devices of a member of the Deicide Compact.
Oh shit, we
And
did
you
that.
gave that information to the lads.
Oh
Yes.
shit, we did do that.
Yeah,
You get
they
a
did that.
text message from the lads, and I will read this aloud for people who may not be at their computer screens. But I'm going to paste it for your guys' reference if you want to put it in your notes.
Okay.
From Mark. It's time you start taking an active role against these Scions. Claren. They've likely only grown into their own after their encounter with Grace. Do you have a plan? Mark. Yes, we need to coordinate, and we'll modify a Grendel. We'll get together at your home in 2 days.
Oh. What's the timestamp on that?
Modify a
It was immediately sent. As soon as the lads got it, they sent it to
they
Jody.
are prompt.
They are very
I'm just gonna immediately jump in the
It's a
group chat like,
Grendel.
hey guys, problem.
We
And
need to
then
figure out
tell
who this Clara is
tell
and where her
Lara
place is.
was... That was the Technomancer. That was the person
Ah.
who's you've cloned their phones of. It was the
Yeah.
place that
It's,
Jody and Carden broke into.
Oh.
yeah, I was about to say, it was Carden's only successful stealth mission.
It's the one where the lads made a distraction by stealing a car.
Mm-hmm.
You were helped by the lads.
Yes, and me. I was there too.
Mhm.
And me,
Yeah, that-
I was there the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why it's Carden's only successful stealth mission, because other things were helping him.
Because you had backup. Yeah. Like, yeah, that will explain what the lads tell me about the message.
Vega just goes, "What's a Grendel?"
Grendel was that
The
That
monster,
thing
you
that
remember?
almost
he
killed us.
monster that was with Grace.
Yeah. And tried to run off with her after she got shot.
Is it Grendel from Beowulf or is unrelated?
That's what
Well,
I
they're,
was
say,
Grendel
they're,
was
they're
with
saying a Grendel, so it's probably like based on him.
Oh no, they made more.
Yeah.
I'm gonna need a bigger gun.
Or just a bigger mouth.
Oh my.
Oh my god!
I'm gonna yap him to death.
Oh my.
Okay, alright, not again, please. No.
Too much?
Congratulations, you
I
get to be in the quiet corner with Michi now.
request that you
Ooh.
stay further away from your microphone.
Hey, me in the quiet corner.
Congratulations, you're both at 40.
Look, I had hoped to summon Gamesy with that. It didn't work
Yeah.
so much.
Oh well.
There's
Oh,
no
well.
sign in the chat.
Mm-hmm.
Had a visceral reaction to that. I did not enjoy it.
I am sorry.
I
Usually
think it's funny.
I get negative responses with another voice.
Is it the uwu?
It's not the uwu. I'm not very good at the uwu.
I am.
Innocent.
I'm not allowed to do the uwus.
Oh.
This is why
Well-
Michi has to be in the quiet corner. That and the fact that Vega exists.
I
This
just think
Vega
it's
in
so
general.
mean.
I just think it's funny.
Alright.
That just sounds so mean just because Vega exists.
Oh.
You
That's
know
where she's
why.
in that register. But anywho. So you have the information before you. There's a group of vampires in town. The Deicide Compact is beginning to make moves. And you
Mhm.
found information about Zelmoxis.
It's,
Everyone is
You're
aware of
sleuth.
all of these events, all these things. I don't know what word to use at the moment. All these goings on.
shenanigans.
So-
These ley lines in the narrative that is Destiny.
So
Ley
I
lines? Are we
asked.
black mages?
I don't know.
So I ask, what are your plans?
Oh, I
Not
heard
that.
that.
Oh,
That's my alarm.
Everybody wants some goose.
I think with this information,
mhm.
we might need to bring the fight to them.
Okay. So we have. You know what? You know what we'll do? We'll go ahead and call it a little half hour early. That way people have some time to sit there and think about some things and talk about it over the next couple of weeks about what to do.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, please, let's turn this into a fight.
Okay. So, I have been your storyteller for the evening, Alvarez. With me playing Jody, I've had Keestrith.
Oh my god, that's me.
Yeah. Playing Vega, I've had Michinho.
I got Chomp.
Yeah. Playing Casimir, I've had Nevik.
I was burning the midnight midnight oil.
Oh my god, please do not burn your
House
sword.
down.
Look, I wanted to make the joke. I didn't have the time for it.
Time to commit insurance fraud.
No.
There was no mention of any spiders. You don't need to burn the house down.
Yeah.
Playing Carden, I've had Red Ghost. Ghost?
I
Oh.
don't. I
Oh.
don't. So how do you think a Grendel tastes?
That's why
Only
I said
one
you
way
gotta,
to find out.
you gotta have a bigger jaw.
And that's how it turns into crocodile paw to eat the people.
Mhm.
Yeah. Playing Andre, I've had Robo Pirate.
I mean, I'm fairly sure they can tell if you attempt to burn your own place down. They're pretty good at that.
Mhm.
Yeah. What if you use magic
I
fire
said
though?
insurance fraud.
Can
Please
they
not
detect
burn
if the fire is magic?
Does
They
it
might have
still-
people for that because it is canon that they
Yeah.
do have supernatural division.
I was about to
Yeah.
say, does that still fall
Supernatural
under the purview
insurance
of Acts of
adjuster.
Gods insurance?
Oh my gosh, supernatural tax collectors.
All right, come on.
Look,
Let's
they
not turn this fully into a nightmare realm.
They will
This-
find you.
this is how they got
student
Aya
loans.
Nasir.
This is just becoming a nightmare, nightmare.
All right, and we'll catch you guys next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay.
And that was it for today. Thank you all so much for being here. I realized that the Plainsmelt logo is a bit too big here. Hold on. There we go. Yeah. Still here. But let me actually put on some music. There we go. Thank you all so much for being here. I, in particular, would like to thank Churney Adventures for raiding in. Also, Kenny Coded Reality, The Tipsy Tiger, Purple Cara, and Vampire Bites. Thank you so much for the follows. I am going to raid into Gender Meowster's stream because I did a sneaky and I entered a giveaway and apparently won it. So I am going to hang out in full-on gratitude there. Thank you all so much for being here. Next stream will be this upcoming Monday. There may be a stream tomorrow, depending on my spoons. I had a busy week, and by a busy week, I meant I had a busy yesterday. Which does tire me out very, very much. So, Casimir going unconscious for doing too much very much feels like myself. So, with all of that said, thank you all so much for being here. I am going to start the raid for Jenner Meowster. And if you want to see more D&D, that'll be next Monday, where we are going back to Hyrule Chronicles if all goes well. with all that said, I have been Nether, I am Nether, and I will be Nether for some time, depending on what form you see me in. Always in for a good time. Have a good one, and I hope to see you soon. Bye!